I am a former teacher, right? And so I like to have my little handouts for teaching. I might not have enough for everyone, so we're going to share a little bit, okay? And the sheet that I'm passing out is all about how to critique a work of art. So there's things that are acceptable to say, and there are things that are unacceptable to say. The things that aren't really good to say is, I just don't like that. Okay? You're allowed to not like something, but you have to kind of give a reason of why you don't like it. Okay? I don't think so. We'll be good. Yeah, it's all good.
You know how to slow this down a little bit?
Yeah. I thought you were the one that's always hot.
Well, I know, but there's other people who are not running hot like I am. They feel like they're in the tunnel here.
Okay, so things that we want to comment about when we're talking about art, just as like a preliminary thing, is the shapes that we see, the lines that we see, the colors that we see. Usually all of those things mean something. The artist wants us to see something through the art. And so those are things that are pretty easy for us to comment on. I have art here from all different types of mediums, which means all different types of works of art, such as sculpture, painting. We have one stained glass all the way at the end, okay? We also have art from different cultures. It's okay for you to not be familiar with art from other cultures, from other continents. That's not a very good reason to immediately dislike it, okay? That doesn't mean you have to like it, but we don't want to automatically just say that it's bad because it's not from our culture, okay? So we're going to start out. I think I've got about 29 to 30 slides here, and we're going to make our little comments. So, like I said, I taught Genesis class at Concordia University of Ann Arbor for a semester, and the last project that we had them do was that they had to come up with a picture from one of the stories from the book of Genesis. And so a lot of these are going to have names down at the bottom, because those were the people that were in this class, and they would get up at that point and do their little 2-minute spiel and then go on. So the names down, when it says chosen by, don't really mean anything. I asked them to come up with the artist's name, where the work of art is, and the medium for that. Some of them didn't do that, so not all of that information is going to be with every picture. So for this one, by Noreen Schumann, Jacob only came up with the title, Creation Genesis. So what do you think?
I like it.
I do too.
Okay, so that's fine if we like it, but we want to give reasons why we like it. So
What does that first section mean?
what does the first section even mean? It's a little bit abstract.
Right.
Okay, so automatically with the form of the painting, we can see that there are 7 different sections representing the 7 different days of creation. Okay, so the first one is maybe a little bit too abstract for us, but what happened on the first day of creation?
God made it.
God made what? And darkness. Okay, so darkness does not have to be black. Darkness can also be blue, and this artist decided to depict it with blue, and his light to depict with orange or white. Okay, so that's a little bit different than maybe what we're initially expecting. What else about this painting do you want to comment on?
It looks, before the separation, it looks like chaos. It's all scrambled together.
Oh, okay. So, with the first 3 days of separation, it's all kind of scrambled together, and it shows it what it might have looked like before it was separated. That's interesting. I like that. Okay. Good. Anything else?
Rose is feeling shy, but she likes how there's 7 different pictures.
Yeah.
To remind you that all about the first week.
There's 7 different days, right? And I think that's an interesting thing that the artist did, right? It would have been one thing to make 7 different paintings of the 7 different days, but they wanted to incorporate all of them into the same work of art, which I really like. So instead of thinking of one day as a particular action of God, looking at the entirety of creation in the 7 days and saying that that is the entire work of creation. So there's actually quite a bit of theology in this one work of art that maybe we wouldn't have seen necessarily, right? The thing that sticks out to me is the last day, the 7th day, the 7th partition, is, you call those lilies?
Peace lily.
Peace, or a calla lily?
It's a peace lily.
Peace lily. I didn't know that. It's weird to me as a man, right, that like a flower represents rest. To me, a flower doesn't necessarily mean that. But if it's a peace lily, then that would fit a little bit more with the day of rest, right? Which I would not have known unless you had said that.
Yeah, you commonly see that at
Funerals.
presentation of funeral homes.
Okay.
People will choose that to send to the funeral.
Yeah, I love that. Okay. Other comments before we move on?
Is that a dove or a seagull?
I don't know. It could be either. Initially, my thought is seagull, but the way that the shape of the bird is, it kind of looks more like a dove, right? So that could represent the Holy Spirit hovering over the face of the waters in Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. Okay? And that's interesting to think, because we think about that more with day 1, because it happens before day 1. But when we have the separation of the birds and the fish in day 5, or the creation of the birds and the fish, to fill in the separation of the air and the water, that's interesting to think that the Holy Spirit is still there, overseeing everything. Right? Good. All right. Let's move on. This is one that I added. I've added 3 paintings into the presentation for today. And this is the creation of Eve. It comes from a medieval book, which may be why it looks a little weird to us. Okay, medieval art generally has a lot of symmetry to it. So we see the circle and the line going through the middle of the circle. Okay, it's the creation of Eve. So it may be a little bit small, but what do you see in there?
Green.
You see green for the Garden of Eden, right?
Can't quite see it. What is that yellow thing next to it?
This
Yeah.
right here, I think that's just like an animal,
Okay.
either a deer or a giraffe or something
But
like
it's
that.
not the serpent.
I don't think it's the serpent, because this is representing Genesis chapter 2 and not Genesis chapter 3.
Okay.
Okay? But it's the creation of Eve. So what do you see in the middle?
You see Eve coming out
You
of.
see Eve literally coming out of Adam. Okay? Representing that her body came from or was made out of Adam's rib. Okay? So there's actually, again, a lot of theology in this. Maybe not necessarily in this circle, because we just see the angels hovering around God in a circle, right? But it's interesting that we have the green for the Garden of Eden. It's interesting that we have Eve coming out of Adam. Yeah.
Two things I'm wondering.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of white in it. I'm wondering if there's lamb. The other thing that
Right here.
yeah, and on the other side,
Oh, right here.
yeah.
Yeah.
And, because it's hard to see from here.
Yeah.
I see both arms of Jesus, of God, and Mary, or Eve, and I can't see if God is taking her by the hand or what, but that's what it looks like from here.
Yeah.
And I find,
And what would that represent? I think you're right.
that he's connecting with her.
Yeah. That he's showing her that he's going to care for her,
So,
right? Protection,
love.
okay? Love, all of that. So we see, like you said, the open arms up here generally is a symbol of care, protection, welcome, right? And down here is God the Father helping Eve up, right? Giving her the breath of life, we could say, which is really interesting.
So the people surrounding them.
Yeah.
Those are angels.
Angels, probably the green around them are their wings, which you probably can't see very well with this picture.
It appears that they aren't, it appears that they're green. And then also you have the four figures in the corner. I see two figures.
Yeah, it gets kind of cut off right here,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
So we have the figures skewed out.
Yeah. So it's interesting, right? Medieval art is probably not everyone's favorite, and that's okay. All right?
Is Adam resting his head?
Yeah, he's just right. It's kind of showing that he's sleeping,
Looking away.
right? Because he's put in deep sleep. So this is kind of the symbol of sleeping, right? Good. Good. Okay, so this is entitled Eve Tempted by the Serpent. And this is actually by someone that we've heard of, or maybe should have heard of before, William Blake, who is a famous English philosopher, right? And this is in the Victoria and Albert Museum in London. One of the good things about going to London is that you can see many things from history. But the bad thing about going to London is that you get overwhelmed with all the museums you can go to. Kind of like with Washington, D.C. Like, how many Smithsonian institutes can you go to in a week, right? Before it all just kind of glazes over. So, this is tempera paint on copper, which is not necessarily the normal medium for paint, okay? It's flaked because of the way that the paint stuck to the copper. But what do we notice about this painting? I'm not going to ask you all the time if you like it or dislike it, but I want to ask you, what do you notice about it? What does this painting teach us about Genesis chapter 3?
Is
There's
Adam
a little
sleeping?
bit,
Go ahead.
Is Adam sleeping?
Adam's sleeping, okay, which could represent
Him not knowing what she's
him
up
not
to?
knowing his ignorance, right? Or him being present but not doing anything during the actual temptation. Okay? Good. The snake is huge. This is not what we normally expect, right? We normally expect the snake kind of maybe wrapped once around the tree and kind of loops like a shepherd's hook talking to Eve or something like that, right? We don't necessarily think of this gargantuan serpent that would be talking to Eve.
It
Now,
almost looks like a dragon's head.
almost looks like a dragon or a dragon's head. Yeah, totally. Because normally dragons are not harbingers of good things, right? Normally they're bad. Okay. So what could that mean? That the serpent is so big
And so colorful.
and so colorful,
Right.
so desirable to the eye,
Very tempting.
very tempting.
very colorful.
very powerful to get Eve's attention. And you see that, she's kind of wrapped up in his coil a little bit already, just by simply being there. Right?
And
Okay.
her hand is up.
And her hand is raised up to maybe take hold of the fruit. Right? Good job, honey. What else?
There's a little bit of brown on the snake.
There's a little bit of brown on the snake. What else do we notice? Am I going too slow? You want me to?
The one thing I noticed is the serpent, the curse on the serpent was crawl on its belly in
Mhm.
dust the rest of its life. So at some point it had limbs,
It had legs, right?
Yeah. Which makes
And
it
in
more
this
threatening.
case, and then this is before
Yeah.
that curse comes, right? So the snake is going to be more upright. And in this case, the Blake has it kind of just very powerful to be able to kind of stand up without even having legs, right? So I don't know if thinking of the serpent being small is necessarily a good idea. I kind of like this representation
Uh-huh.
of the big, powerful, tempting snake.
Because temptation is powerful.
Right? Right. Okay? So, just looking at, if you know anything about art history, what does this make you think of when you see Eve this way? Do you know what I'm trying to get at?
I think so, the goddess on
The
the
goddess
shell.
on the shell,
Yeah.
which is the birth of Venus, right? So, we kind of go back and see it's really, really similar. So a lot of the times when we are looking at art in the 17th, 18th, 19th century, they borrow these ideas from art that is a little bit more famous and a little bit more, what's the right word I'm looking for? Not, it's famous, but it's also recognizable, okay? In order to get you to see that in their own painting, okay? This has nothing to do with the Bible, but I just wanted to show you how it was similar, okay? So, this is the rebuke of Adam and Eve.
I love Adam. It's her.
It's all her, right? What do you want me to do? I don't know, right? Good.
Yeah, he's throwing her under the bus.
Throwing her under the bus. What else?
There's a lot of red under the soldiers.
Yeah, there's a lot of red right here, right? And this guy is representing God the Father, okay? So there's red kind of like enveloping the entire way that he is presenting himself, except for his one hand.
It's right.
Well, okay, he might look angry, okay?
He looks more disappointed.
Maybe more disappointed, right? What else?
He said it's all her fault.
And Adam's saying it's all her fault. Yeah? So it's biblically accurate. Good.
The soldier's feet is kind of slipping.
Yeah, it kind of looks like he's slipping, but in this case, because this is God the Father, he's kind of floating or hovering. Okay? How about let's stick to one comment? Alright, what else? We've got the fig leaf already, okay, which is a little early in the biblical narrative. What else?
Is that fruit?
We got a little fruit up here that looks like a pear, which could or could not be. Most scholars are now thinking it was possibly a fig and not an apple. Okay?
That makes more sense.
Makes a little bit more sense. Alright, we can talk about the medieval colors here, between the blue and the red and the yellow that's going to show up in multiple paintings. Okay?
I don't think a big would be as enticing to look at the dishes hanging there on a tree like a red.
There's no way to know, right? Yeah. Good. All right. This should remind us a little bit of Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel, right? Representing that man is in the image of God, but not God. Okay? And notice that God's hand is fully extended, and if man's hand was fully extended, it would reach.
You still
But
have
ours
the
is
red,
not.
behind them.
What?
You still have the red cloak or whatever
It's,
that is behind it.
it's basically the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay?
Surrounded by angels, the red
Right.
floating.
Right, good. All right, good. Okay, so of all of the paintings, or of all of the works of art that I'm going to show you today, this one is my absolute favorite. Okay? And it may seem like there's not much here. Okay? Thomas Cole is probably in my top 5 favorite artists of all time. You can see one of his works at the DIA, and most people kind of skim over it. So this is entitled The Expulsion from Eden. So up here, we've got a volcano that is exploding, okay?
He's going from the peace and beauty of the garden out into the world now which has sin.
Who is they?
Adam and Eve.
Where are they?
Down in the
They're down, they're just these little man and woman right here fleeing from the Garden of Eden.
They're very small.
They're very small in comparison to the rest of the artwork, right? Because this takes up the entire wall. Okay, it's huge, it's absolutely huge.
So on the one side, Eden is very lush and healthy looking, and the other side it looks destitute. Or
Absolutely, yes.
I like the beams coming through the rock, meaning that it's God. It's His light.
It's his light, but it can also represent the angel that was meant to guard the Garden of Eden, right? And it's interesting that we don't see where the light is coming from. It's hidden by the rock, right? So either we can't see God, or the light from the angel is too much for us to even see. Okay, good.
And it's kind of weird
Why does it look weird?
because the front of it, the staples are kind of like in skinny pieces.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So these trees look weird, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't have a lot of leaves on them, right? And they're in really stark contrast to the other trees on the other side of the painting that have a lot of leaves on them. Right? So I'm a sucker for landscape paintings. This is just kind of what I like. And I love the theology of the contrast between Eden and the world without God.
Even the water flowing is different. It's
Ooh,
beautiful,
yeah.
blue and peaceful. on
Right
the
here?
side.
Yeah.
And over here,
It's like rapids,
Yes.
right? Waterfall. Like if you fall in this, you'll just kind of drift, right? And here you're gonna, yeah, right? That's good. I like that. Most people miss the water. Okay. Down here, yeah. You see the brown kind of interspersed.
You know, I noticed over the right around the
Yeah.
pretty water, there's a lot more light. A lot light, and the other side, what was just dark and yellow,
Yeah.
which is light and dark, spiritual.
Perfect. Sin. Yeah. Good. I love it. Oh, Now we're in Genesis chapter 4. Sin has entered the world. This is Cain and Abel by Gustave Doré. I hope that all of you have heard of Gustave Doré before. If you haven't, I have a book of all of his illustrations from the Bible. You need to look at this if you've never seen or heard him before. He's one of the most famous artists that have depicted scenes from all over the Bible. Okay? So, this is in black and white, which makes it a little bit more stark.
It looks like Cain is ambushing him, coming out from behind the rock.
Well, I think that in this case, it has already happened. I think Abel is already dead, and Cain's kind of like, what have I done?
Stepping back.
Yeah, stepping back, meaning like, what actually just happened?
I think by using the black and white and you get the gray textures in there, it really is so much more pronounced than if you had done it in color, because it is very contrasting with subtles, but it's contrasting. You can see just in his stance how anguished.
Drama in it.
Drama. There's a lot more
A lot
drama.
of drama in it. And it doesn't feel like if I were to ask you, what is a dramatic painting, right? You're gonna think of like a whole bunch of stuff, really bright and colorful and this, but like, this is still dramatic, even though it's a little bit more, it's less than what we would normally
Pastor,
expect.
is that a storm in the right-hand corner,
It's a
the lightning?
storm, representing God's anger, right? Good. Anything else? In great, yeah. So it talks about that in the book.
Just
Okay.
looking at that, you know that they're not in Eden anymore.
Yeah, it's very obvious that this is not Eden. Right? Now, the storm is maybe a misnomer, right? Because we learn in Genesis that no rain fell on the earth until the flood. So you can have lightning without rain, but usually they go together.
They have heat and stuff like that.
Pardon?
Heat on it.
Yep. Good. Okay, Noah's Ark. This one is in the DIA by Charles McGee. This one is more abstract, so it is harder for us to initially interpret. Okay? The reason I chose this as part of the presentation is because it is in the DIA, you can see it. Okay? It has a better impact when you see it in person.
Is that the rain coming down? The white dots?
The white dots all over the entire picture could be the rain. Okay?
Animal there on the bottom,
You got a couple animals.
down there, but it also looks like there is a serpent around the guy.
There's a serpent,
So, sin and evil's going with him.
and sin and evil is going with them. So is this actually the ark?
I don't see that in the art.
Could be the blue triangle. This could be what happens after they get shut in the ark, right? With the rain.
Or is it the people left outside?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It almost looks like a sense of urgency.
How so?
The way Noah is standing, their hands are open wide, like, we gotta get this done, or, yeah, let's go.
Good, good. This is not my favorite thing. And that's okay.
It's like something down.
I don't mind abstract art, but I do like to be able to tell what's in the abstract art. This one is a little bit hard to tell. Okay?
Sarah looks more African than
Yes,
African.
yes. All right, this is very famous, okay? Of all of the paintings I show you, this is probably the one that you should actually recognize by Peter Bruegel. This is the Tower of Babel. What do we notice? Very tall in the sky.
Bright colors.
The bright colors. Good.
And there's some red in it.
And there's some red on the inside, right?
Is that like a meeting down in the lower left corner, a group of people discussing?
There's a meeting right here with a king-looking guy telling this guy on the ground something that he probably doesn't want to hear. Okay? We got the stonemakers right here. But what I really like about this painting is the background, right? So what is all of this back here?
It looks like a village.
It seems serene to me.
It could, because it's so far away. But this is like a town,
City,
a city, right? So we think of the Tower of Babel kind of off by itself, but I really like this idea that it's built in the middle of a city. Because there had to be people around to actually build the thing.
From back here, you don't see it.
Yeah, you probably can't see that yet.
It's
It's hard,
yeah.
yeah.
But I was just looking out at the horizon and thinking, oh, this is it's peaceful here.
It's peaceful out here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's.
Does this look peaceful?
No.
No.
No. It looks very chaotic.
It's a harbor too, I never thought of it as being near the water where
It's
they
possible.
bring in
Yeah, it's possible.
building supplies and.
Okay. Anything else? Move on. It's up in the clouds. It reaches all the way up to where the clouds are.
Yeah.
Right? It's good. Good. All right. Created. Genesis 16, which is Sarah and Hagar. So which one's which?
Sarah's the gray hair Hagar.
Sarah's the older one in the back. Hagar is the one that has the baby first. I don't like this painting, this picture, because I understand that Abraham has to have moles, but it's the only thing I can look at in this picture. It distracts me from what's actually going on in the painting.
It looks a little more cartoonish.
It's very cartoonish. Jacob, he really got into this assignment, and so he was the one, I think, who picked the first one about creation, and he's also going to have one at the end, which is also a cartoon. So that was kind of like the medium that he liked, and so again, it's probably not my number one, but I think that it does demonstrate the joy that Abraham had at the birth of Ishmael. And it kind of shows how Sarah really wasn't all too thrilled about it. Yeah? Okay?
The facial expressions are important though.
They are. And what can we get out of Hagar's facial expressions?
She seems pleased.
She seems very pleased, and she looks like she wants to please Abraham,
Abraham, yeah.
right?
Almost like, look what I can do.
Look what
Sarah.
I can do. Yeah.
Her eyes.
It's all in the eyes. Yeah. Good. Yeah, I can. I think it probably means more of like he's just old. Yeah. Good.
Sunday school.
Yeah. It looks like a Sunday school thing from the 70s, right? Yeah, it's good. I hadn't thought about that, but that's very accurate. Good. All right. Lot fleeing from Sodom, chapter 19 by Benjamin West. This is also in the DIA, and it is oil on canvas. What do you think?
You can see his anger coming down.
God's anger coming down
And
in
the angels trying to protect Lot, but she turns.
Uh-huh. So it's biblically accurate. The angels are with them, leading them to Zoar. Okay? What else?
Kind of using the same color scheme that they use, the blues and the yellows and the reds, the tones. So it kind of is in the same style as those Renaissance paintings.
Mm-hmm. It's very dramatic. You can see that in the angle of the angel's wings. That all of the lines are pointing this way, right? Not only to get you to focus on them, but then their hands are like, come on, we're
Looks
going
like they're
this
pushing
way,
them hard.
right? So there's a lot of movement in this. Mhm. Notice that all of the foliage is by where they are and not by Sodom and Gomorrah, right? Representing that they are safer now than they were before. Okay?
Is that the sun rising back?
The sun is rising. This happens in the morning, right? Good. All right. Lot's wife. Also at the DIA. Silica bronze with a steel stand.
It's kind of like bones.
It kind of looks like bones, right? Because it's so white. No one has a comment?
Well, it's very representative, because usually when you think of her turning into a pillar of salt, in other illustrations, it's a shapeless stone thing. That's unmistakable
I think
what used to be a person.
this is probably more accurate than a column of salt, right? And I really like it for that reason. That it kind of makes us see Lot's wife in maybe a way that we haven't seen before. And it's not positive, right? You look at that, you're like, ooh. But the longer you look at it, you're like, no, that's accurate.
And she's
More-
looking away where most
And she's
sculptures, they're
looking
not
away.
doing that.
Yeah, looking back. So I like this one, even though it's a little different.
What is the real statue? It's just a column like that, isn't it?
Pardon?
Down there, you wouldn't see a person in the salt. You wouldn't actually see, is it just a column? You would see.
I don't understand your question.
Yeah, wasn't she turned into a pillar of salt?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that it was salt that looked like a person.
But now, if you went to see that, isn't it still there?
At the DIA?
No, yeah.
Oh, probably not. Salt washes away,
Oh.
right? Good. Lot and the daughter. one is in the Toledo Museum of Art, which is actually a much better art museum than you think it's going to be. Same with Flint. If you haven't been to the Flint Art Museum, really, really good. That's what we think.
They got the line.
You got the line, it's biblically accurate.
They're encouraging them to drink.
Encouraging him to drink. Hey, look, there's more wine. There's a second flagon. Okay? You see the city burning in the back.
He
I
doesn't
think
seem
the
to be
Bible says
mourning.
they go into a cave. This doesn't look like a cave.
He doesn't seem to be mourning his wife.
It's
It's like,
take a bowl of wine, thank you. Right? Yeah, yeah. Representing what they're gonna do. Right? Yeah. Good. That's all there is.
what would happen if they looked back now? Would they turn salt?
I think the Bible says that it's while they're fleeing.
Okay.
I mean, the way that I've always envisioned it is that they could see the remnants of the city from their cave. But that, I don't know if the Bible is too specific on that. Okay? Good. Another one by Doré, because he is so famous. Again, black and white. This is when Sarah and Abraham send Hagar and Ishmael out into the wilderness to die.
Are her hands lifted over her head?
Her hands are lifted over her head. Probably praying. We have that in Genesis 21 that she prayed to God.
Looks like she's calling out to God.
Calling out to God for help.
So does she pray or is she ready to throw something?
I don't think she's going to throw anything. I think, to me, she's praying.
Because she's casting the net.
Pardon?
Is this Hagar?
This is Hagar and Ishmael. Yeah.
Okay. So, didn't she weigh him down? She realized he was dying, she weighed him down.
And then went off, yeah.
Because she couldn't stand to
Be next to him.
see
Yeah.
him die.
Yeah. So it's a hard, like, you know, you sit down one day like, I'm going to do this today. This is what I'm going to make.
Why is it called Sarah? That's Hagar.
Oh. I don't know. Let me make sure I did it right.
The heading here it says God protects Hagar and Ishmael.
It's Hagar. I'll fix it later. That's why you got Sarah. That makes a lot more sense. This is the third time I've given this presentation. No one's ever said anything. All right. Yeah, gold star. Yeah, for sure. Gold star.
Is there water coming from that bush, trickling down from that bush, or is it just a shadow? Because God did send water. They ran out of water.
Are you talking about right here?
Yeah.
This line right here?
And there's their container for their water.
Their
It's under-
container?
I don't know.
Maybe it's possible.
Cracks in the mud there.
Cracks in the mud? Yeah. That wouldn't necessarily happen with dry sand. Good. All right. The next couple are going to be Abraham and Isaac. What do you notice in this one? Don't be shy.
The sacrifice of Isaac.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a sheep down at the bottom?
Here?
Yeah,
That's a rock.
oh, okay,
But next to him is a,
Oh, right here? Yep.
okay.
Same thing.
I see that Abraham's looking up like he's hearing somebody talking to him.
Okay. So we see the line of his eye looking up towards the light. And this is representing God, the cloud, right?
He's got a knife in his hand and one, the other hand's on his son's chest. So he was definitely going to.
Just about to
Obey God's.
do this thing,
Yeah.
right? I think it's interesting that we don't have God represented outside of the cloud, right? Like it's just outside of our sight.
Well, he wasn't, it didn't say that he was, physically there or, you know, it was just a voice, wasn't it?
Yep, 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 yep. Second person of the Holy Trinity.
Yes.
Reincarnate. Yeah. Good. Old star.
The fire wasn't started yet.
The
Wasn't
what?
the fire started before he put,
He just,
Isaac on it?
no, he sacrifices.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. Abraham's sacrifice of Isaac by David Teniers the Younger. Flemish. The Art Institute of Chicago. If you've never been to the Art Institute of Chicago, it is massive. It takes days to see everything. Okay?
Fire.
He's got the fire ready.
Well, sun is not on it.
Not yet, because he hasn't killed him yet.
Is that God grabbing the knife? Or an angel?
Look at that. Isn't that cool? We got a ram. This is a donkey and one of the servants that came with him, even though he traveled 3 days journey. Right?
Is there a reason why that, Isaac is looking down? It's on his
Well,
belly
what's
this
right
time?
here? What's he looking at?
The lamb?
This is the ram. Right? So he's like, no, 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 let's do this thing instead.
It is a ram because
Yeah.
the
So I like this because we've got the line up here, we have the line down here to the ram, right? The donkey is trying to look over here, he can't. This person's looking away. So that there's lots of things going on in this, even though it may look a little weird that most of the action is on this side of the picture.
Why is there a wall?
Why is there a wall? I don't know. That's how European painters did it for a while. Yeah, they just threw ruins in for fun. Yeah.
It looks like in this picture compared to the last one. Here, the last one, he was actually looking like he was talking to God.
Mm-hmm.
This one here looks like he's ready to follow through with what
Mhm.
God has told him to do.
Yeah. And I think the Bible says that, like he raised the knife, right, before God stopped him. Abraham, Abraham, do not kill your only son, Isaac.
Because I think I know one before God's not, maybe he did really want to do.
Yeah.
He said, he told God that he would, and this one is.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Good.
It's like the smoke and the fire is way off in the distance.
Yep, it's going off that way.
Way off.
I like that because then it kind of creates a V, right? So you've got this down at the lamb and then this back up. So all of the action is in this V and everything else is kind of,
But the base of the stone and that wall creates an upward, take your eye
it's all about the
upward,
line.
up
It's all about the line.
Up
completely different,
Yeah.
but still also valid. He's tied, right?
See something around his wrist.
Yep, he's tied with rope.
The angel looks like a woman.
Yes, the angel looks more like an angel, right? So I don't like that aspect of it. What else?
My eye is drawn to the red wrapped around.
The red wrapped around Abraham.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's probably where most of our eyes go at first. It's probably meant to be that way. Because this isn't a struggle, I mean, this isn't Isaac's test. This is Abraham's test, right? He's the central figure in this story. Even though we want to care a little bit more about Isaac, because he's the one that's about to die.
Is that a small flame in the corner?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
There's that, the bush right behind the ram.
The bush is right, it's kind of hiding the ram a little bit. Right?
Both like the previous picture and this one, he's got his hand on the head
Mm-hmm.
of.
And I like this representation of that better, because this one, by holding his hair kind of, it looks more like a struggle to me.
Yeah.
Okay?
The other one was just,
He's just kind of there,
yeah.
right? But then we also have the lines, right? So this line all the way to Isaac, and Isaac's eyes are looking up, but we also can make his face is looking at the ram again. Okay? So Isaac is a little confused in this painting.
You got a glow on the angel's face?
Glow on the angel, right? Heavenly glory. Good.
Is that clouds behind him and no clouds above? Abraham, is this?
I think they're clouds in the whole thing. I think they're just different color clouds. I don't think there's anything to that. Okay. Good.
The,
Yeah.
the hand up on the angel, what is she trying to express?
So the
Is she
angel
like
is
saying lift him up or?
pointing upward. So either don't like lift him up, or this is what God is telling you.
Yeah, this is not for me, this is for.
Right. That's probably where I would go with the interpretation. Okay? Good. Also, Abraham sacrificing Isaac.
He's not holding Isaac here.
He's not holding Isaac. Isaac's struggling a little bit more. In this one, I mean, Isaac looks like a grown man,
Yeah.
right? This one, he looks a little bit more like a boy, but still very muscular. Right?
But they're looking upward.
Yeah, so we've got the upward line between the angel and Abraham. I like this one because Abraham looks a little scared even.
And the
Right?
angel pointing. Is she pointing at the lamb or the goat?
Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
He's just holding his arm.
Holding it back, right? Which is really interesting. Because we had that 2 pictures ago, holding back, and now we also have it in this one. Okay. Good. Again, we have the red, we have the gold. This one, maybe focus a little bit more on Isaac and a little less on Abraham. This is the red. Okay. Another sacrifice of Isaac.
The red, it's interesting that the red is, I mean, he's surrounded by red.
Yeah, I really like this painting a lot.
Very dramatic.
Very dramatic, and I love the way that each person or each character is in a different color.
Very.
It's almost like a kid's painting or a kid's drawing, right? Like going outside of the lines, and coloring it all the same color.
Well, it looks like they did the background first and then put the characters in.
That's how it works.
Could the red represent his confusion or his lack of, well, I don't know.
I think you're on the right track.
Like confusion, like he doesn't want to do this, of course he doesn't want to do this, but now the angel's here, like, you know, what's going on? God sent me up here and, you know.
Is he angry? He's got a knife in his hand.
It's really interesting that the angels in blue, that deep blue,
Really deep blue.
yeah, the face is concerned, that means reaching out, but, the color choice is interesting.
Uh-huh.
The whole thing.
And I mean, okay, so we've got this angel in blue, we've got the bush in black, but then also this ram that looks like a donkey in this one, also blue, representing God, is the sacrifice for us.
It looks like the fire is already lit.
Ah, so Isaac is in the orange of the fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish then you could use the blue as a calming. It soothes, it takes away the fire. Water washes away the fire.
Love it. Yes.
It doesn't look like Isaac's problem in this.
Nope.
It's just that he has resigned himself, he's, whatever.
Whatever happens, happens. Yeah. Even if it means my life. Yeah. Good. I think that's the last one. Okay, good. Rebecca presenting Jacob to Isaac by Nicholas Guy Barrett.
Who's it looking at?
That's Sarah.
This is Rebecca,
That's awesome.
Isaac, and Jacob.
Is that like a sheepskin around?
Like a sheepskin, trying to be like Esau, all hairy.
With Isaac's arm up, is he reaching for God's help?
Yeah, you could do that, or it could also be like the blessing that he's about to bestow onto Jacob.
And he's sitting up from his deathbed, right?
He's sitting up from his bed, mustering his strength.
Are his eyes shut?
I don't think so. I think they're open, but they're going this way, right? Which is not, if he's blessing him, you would expect it to be down here, okay? So it could be that this is the moment where he realizes that Jacob isn't Esau after he blessed him. And he's looking towards Rebecca in the back. How did you trick me like that? Good? The dream of Jacob.
Jacob and the ladder. Angel.
His head on a rock.
Head on a rock.
He looks like he's leisurely laying there, like it's
Yeah, he's just kind of like, ah, that's fine.
yeah, like not really in a sleep.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I like the fact that the ladder is there too.
Mm-hmm.
The angel has her arms down, as if she wants to comfort him.
Mm-hmm. And I like this one because the blue does make it seem more calming. right? A little less dramatic. Maybe more trance-like, more dream-like, okay?
Is the artist, is that Oriental?
Probably.
Cute. Got it. Okay.
Do you know what medium that's in?
I think it's a painting.
I like it because it looks like quilt swing.
Hey, there you go. My mind had not gone there, so that's good.
Colors,
That's good. Yeah.
it's like a watercolor.
Like a watercolor, yeah. Good. Alright. This is one of them that I added. Okay. This is Jacob wrestling with the angel. What do you notice right away about this painting?
The tree.
The tree is like way bigger than anything else. Okay.
Looks like a cave opening behind the tree.
Caves open. Did you notice this? 24 feet high, 15 feet wide.
Is it in a church or a?
Pretty impressive. Okay? Now, what I want you to notice is that all of the action happens underneath this line.
Yeah, underneath the tree.
Right? So, this is the camp that Jacob had his family be in. Okay? This is the severe, dramatic wrestling that's going on.